Hey, it's Jason with jams.net, cars, DIY, and adventures, and today it's a DIY car project on this 2023 Ford Maverick XL Hybrid. Where I live, people drive like absolute crazy people. I'm trying to add more cameras to this Ford Maverick, and I'm going to walk you through adding this A229 Plus by Viofo, which has Sony lenses. So I'm going to have an exterior camera, a rear view camera, and an interior camera. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this install. It's going to be good. Okay, so let's get this stuff unpackaged. I'm going to show you what you have. When you order the camera, this is the A229 Plus 3-channel from Viofo. You're going to want to pay attention to what you're ordering because you might want to pick up a few extra parts. This specific camera, it is a, I guess it would be a 3-channel, right? The primary camera, the interior camera, and the rear view camera. It's going to be a little bit of a different install because of a few different reasons on this truck. So it's a 3-channel with QHD, QHD, and FHD. This specific camera has the Sony's Starvis 2 technology. So these are Sony lenses. It has Quad HD recording for the front view. It has the sensor, the image sensor by Sony, which gives you that wider dynamic and higher light sensitivity. It has really good night vision. I'm told it has voice control and notification. It connects via a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection, so you can transfer the data easier. And when I got this, and Viofo was kind enough to send this to me to test, but the things I want to talk about here is when I ordered this specific camera, it comes with just the camera. I went ahead and opted for the polarizing lens filter, so this is going to give you less reflection coming out of your windshield, so like glare off of the windshield, it will pop on the front. There's a 64 gigabyte SD card, I guess the micro SD card that you put in the camera. They did send me the hardwire kit. However, I am not going to use the hardwire HK4 kit. This was $15.99, the lens filter. The memory was $28. The hardwire kit was $25. Now, this could be installed easily in my application. I could hook it to the battery under the back car seat. It would detect on a 12-volt battery when the volt gets too low, and it cuts it off. This is really good because it's not going to drain the battery. I'll be completely frank, though. I like to have easy control to cut it on and off. I want it at my main command center, I call it, under the radio in the center console area, so I can just unplug everything and kill it. I have everything USB hooked to a USB adapter, one plug. I can kill multiple different things. I do that for lots of different reasons because sometimes I do want the cameras off. This is the A229 Plus. Inside of the box, I've already taken the camera out, so we'll take a peek at that real quick. But this is going to be a bigger footprint, a bigger install. In fact, I'm keeping my other little tiny dash cam in it. What I like about this, though, is I do like it has a screen, but I'm not going to put this in the center of the windshield. I'm going to put it up near the A-pillar on the driver's side. It goes like that on the windshield, and then the camera piece you can move. Power is going to be USB-C from the front, the rear view camera, and the interior camera plug in there. So this will have 3 wires if you use rear view camera, interior camera, plus power. No matter what, it's going to have 1. I opened this in advance, that's why the camera's not in the box. But in the box, very basic installation instructions. It shows you how to hook the cameras up into power. It's also labeled on the device, rear view camera here, interior camera, and power. You get these little tiny guys here, which are the different cameras that you can use. So that would theoretically be facing the inside. And then you get the camera that would be hooked to the back. That would be looking behind. They also give you everything to mount it. This is going to use that 3M tape to go on to the windshield. So be mindful. It looks like they're giving you an extra one too. So they're giving you all extra tapes in here, which is nice of them. They're giving you these guys, which you use before the application. So I think these are the things that stick to the windshield so you can get that 3M tape off if you ever want to. So you can do that. Some customer service. They give you quite this sticker. I'm not sure I'll be using that, but maybe I'll put that like in the back of the inside of the truck. Who knows? And then the user manual. And then you get all kinds of cable stuff. So this is going to be the long cable to get to the back of the car. This is going to be the interior. It looks like camera. I'm not sure if I'm going to install the interior camera. TBD on that. And then you get the main one here, which is how you're going to draw power. Again, USB-C. So those are all the bits that you will get with this camera. Okay, the first step I'm going to take is installing this micro SD card. It's this little guy. These usually can only go in one way. You'll know if you're putting it in the wrong way because it won't let you push it in. So in this case, it goes in like so. And then push it down and it sticks in. So micro SD card is installed. I can put this with my parts over here. This is good if you pull the micro SD card. You can put it in there to make a bigger slot because some computers require a bigger slot. But I should be able to get the video all via Wi-Fi. These are in fact the static clings. So this is what you put on the windshield, and then you hook the 3M tape to this. So then you can theoretically get that 3M tape off if you ever want to. Looking a little closer at the camera, you can see the lens here. I'm going to keep that sticker on for now. It tilts. It seems durable and quality. Just keep in mind, this is a bigger camera. So think about where you want to put it. And you're going to have, I'm only going to have two cables, so I'm not going to run the cabin camera. I'm just going to run the this camera facing the back, and then this camera will get the drive. I'm not going to have one facing me. So let's go ahead. Oh, and then we have this little filter here, which I'll put on once I get closer to installing it. But this little guy would just stick and pop on the lens, on the camera lens. So it's gonna basically just go like that. I'm gonna actually put it on now. Might as well, right? Versus waiting and potentially forgetting. So I'll just pull this little protective off the lens there. I'm going to do my best not to touch too much here. And just pops on, I would assume. And it just sticks like that. And then you can peel that off. So since I have this sticker on, I'm going to go ahead and just press down a little bit harder. But that's the polarizing lens filter. And then I'll peel that off when I'm ready. And I lined up that little arrow with that arrow. Not sure if that matters, but that's what I did. This doesn't come with, obviously any instructions. You just have to use your best judgment there. Keep all my trash together. Let's talk about this install and how I'm going to do it on the 2023 Ford Maverick. Now, I'm not going to show you every step of the install. What I am going to show you is how I intend to hook it up right now. And then I'll show you actually using it. So I am electing to keep my little Garmin camera in. I have all the power going to this, and then I have a USB extender in here, if you can see that. And that USB extender cuts off when the ignition's off, and I have a mobile battery hooked to it to charge my cell phone. I have the Garmin camera, and then I'm going to have this camera, plus I'll have one empty port for another USB port. If you use your cigarette light adapter in the Ford Maverick, I am told it can stay on for an excess of an hour, so keep that in mind. It's the same for the one back here as well. I don't want to put the camera here because that's the best view. I know it is, 100% no. But I have the Garmin back here, I have an easy pass, and if I put it here, I don't know, it seems a little harder to actually see the screen and navigate. I'm going to put it right here, so then I can easily see the screen and do controls. Then I'll run the cable this way, snake it down under, and follow this path. I'll go up under the dash, and I'll draw power. And then for the rear view camera, I'll come down this. I'll come in here, I'll follow the weather stripping, I'll come in right here and go underneath. The Ford Maverick, this stuff is so easy to push up. I'll go all the way back here. I'll bring the cable this way. I'll pop it up under the weather stripping here, and I mean, it's easy peasy to do this. You just pop it up underneath the weather stripping here. I'll come in right here, and I'm going to put the camera right here. It can't be on that side because this little window will move. It's going to be right behind this headrest. So, given this is a pickup truck, the view is not going to be fantastic because I have this cap on it. And I'm going to mount it high enough that when I collapse the soft topper, it only comes up right to about here. So I'll still have a little bit of view for the camera. But that's how I intend to run the camera in the back. So again, this is not going to be showing you how to install every single thing. I'm going to just give you some tips as I go. So let me start running some power. Okay, I have quite a bit done. I want to show you what I have done so far so you get an idea of how this install goes. So I have the cable ran all the way to the back. I have the camera mounted, and I have the power cable almost ready to go. So the first step I did, I cleaned the windshield. I used some Windex, I cleaned it. So I got quite a bit done here. I have the camera mounted. It's using that clear thing. So if I pulled this camera off, the 3M tape won't be on here. You can kind of see that it has that clear guard on there, which is super handy to protect the glass if I pull it off. So it's like a static clean that sticks to the windshield. So you can see it like that from the outside. And then I've ran, this cable is the camera that's going to go to the back, through here, all the way through the weather stripping. This was already kind of janky on the Maverick. I did not make it like that. It's actually like that on the back as well. And then I ran it through here. And this goes in so easy. I mean, you can just push this stuff up. It came out here, all the way through the weather stripping. Again, that little door sill, I keep saying weather stripping, the door sill is kind of janky. Ran it through here, back behind the speaker, and I have my cable right here. I would zip tie the excess and let it hang behind the seat. And I'm going to mount that camera right there. When I mount the camera, I will use another one of these little clings. You stick this to the windshield, you pull the backing off, then you 3M tape that to the glass. Now this camera, I guess I need to make sure I know what way it goes, right? I don't want to install it upside down, but it's going to basically be like this. So let me read the instructions to make sure I don't, but the camera is going to be, I'm going to mount it as high as I can, basically just like that. I assume it's going to go this way with the cable facing. And then my next step is pretty basic. It's going to be running this power. I'm going to go down, behind, all the way over up. So this is the power to the camera. Okay, so what I did here was I went ahead and booted up the camera because I really wanted to make sure I understood how the camera would go. And that's how you want to have it mounted. If I did it like that, it would have been upside down. So just keep in mind, it needs to mount like this. And then you can see here, that it's doing exactly what it should be. So I configured the app, but I'm going to put the camera as high as I can go, right about there. And you'll be able to see that it's going to see in the cab of the truck and behind me. Pretty decent. So what I'm going to want to do is apply that static cling. They gave me another one here, and mount that camera. So apply this to the glass. I've already cleaned the glass. Mount that camera. And then what I can do is start hiding all the cables for power and everything. And I'll show you a little bit of functionality on the app. But you can see it's doing its thing pretty good. So let me get the other one mounted. Let me hide all the rest of this cable, the power cable. We'll look at the app. And then after the app, we will go ahead and do a drive. Stay tuned. Okay, it's installed. Let's take a peek. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the installation. This is what it looks like on the outside. It's starting to rain. You can see that static cling a little bit here. But when you actually step back, you can't see anything. When we get into the vehicle, I have the camera back here mounted. Now that's going to be challenging with the cap on this truck. I'm keeping the cap on right now and not folded up. It's the soft topper, so it's going to be going through 2 windows and a 5-foot bed. Better than nothing, but when this is folded down, that camera will clear it and you have an unobstructed view. All of these cables are hidden very nicely. On the Ford Maverick, this is an airbag. I couldn't go back here, so that is exposed. I'm just gonna have to live with it. And then everything goes down here into the main charging area, nice and clean, no issues, none of that good stuff. And then you got the actual camera up here. You can see it's looking straight ahead. It's showing the end of this Land Rover and all the way to the trash cans over here. So you have a really good span, a spectrum view. And it's all controlled via the app, which was super easy to install. Let me show you the app real quick. So when you start the app, you're going to have to connect to your camera. You have to press and hold the Wi-Fi button. And then you have to go in and actually connect to that specific Wi-Fi. So it will say Wi-Fi is on. I don't know if you heard that, Wi-Fi enabled. And it will find the Viofo camera, Wi-Fi. Uncle Elon is Xing everybody right now. So give it a second and it will find it. So you can see it's right here. I'll click it. It's going to connect. I am connected, so I can go back. I can say connect to my camera and it connects. And it's going to enable you to see the front camera. I can say switch camera and I can see the back. You can see the back one is nested up here on the upper right. You can go to settings. And when you go to settings, you can configure everything. I have this syncing with my phone for time and everything. This would do GPS and I'm told it would do speed. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. And then if you click this, it would take you to, I believe, the recordings that you have. And this is where you can actually download them. So I could go into this recording, I can click download, and instantly it downloaded it. So then if I go, I believe, to my Google Photos, so I went into my Google Photos, this would be GPS, and you can see here that I actually have GPS, and I'll totally pretty darn good picture there. You see how that, this would do GPS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a drive. And after the drive, I'm going to put this video and show you what it looks like. If you're asking yourself, Jason, do you like it? I do like it. I think it's nice to have a camera in the back. This car now has 2 forward-facing cameras and a rear-view camera, one via Viofo forward-facing, one rear-view camera. I think that's pretty darn cool. I'm excited for that. People just drive like lunatics where I live, and I do a lot of driving and a lot of school pickups, so I figured, what the heck, why not install one? So thank you for sending this to me via Viofo to test. Links in the description below if you're interested in purchasing it. But let's stop talking and let's go for a drive.
Recording. 2 channels started.
Okay. Off I go. This is my first drive with the Viofo camera. Let's see how this bad boy does. Let's see how it captures everything. Has my speed on it. I'm going to do a bit of talking just because I want you to be able to see what the audio is like on this. My Garmin does not show GPS with speed, so this is an improvement. I was worried with it mounted all the way to the left of the dash, and I explained why I did it like that I wouldn't get the entire field of view, but this wide-angle lens is fantastic. This is a Sony lens. You can see everything. I got the anti-glare polarizing thing on the lens as well. Pretty cool. Now this screen does go to sleep, so like just now, after a few seconds of driving, the screen cuts off, so you're not going to see it as you drive, so it's no distractions, just the device mounted. Oh, that cool truck up there, huh? I don't know what he's doing, but big truck. Alright. I swear these ambulances are getting bigger and bigger. That was a big one right there. Big old front end with the train horns on the front. Kind of boring sitting at a light. You'll see it in a second. Now keep in mind, you can hook up the interior camera as well. And you can even have these cameras stay on when you park with parking sensors. So you get a lot of functionality with this. A really good quality lens. You get the ability to have 3 cameras hooked up. I elected not to do the interior facing camera. And it comes with a hardwire kit if you add that. And it will cut off if your battery gets too low. So, good stuff. I'm going to pull into this lot, turn around, and conclude our drive. And this was $179, this camera. So pretty good price. But then if you add the other items, you're going to be around $200. Alright, I'm going to conclude our drive. Thanks for tuning in to jams.net. Cars, DIY, and adventures.